welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is someone who just started their first day on the job as being the janitor of a closed-down funhouse for children. It's Anande Boetes.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? You cleaning the place?
Yeah, no, scrubbing like mad. I've got my energy drinks. I'm ready.
Anything weird going on?
Nah, got a baseball bat, so it's fine. I'll sort it out.
How'd you get this job? Did your car break down on your tires blew out and someone drove you to this place conveniently?
Crazy story.
I love Willy's Wonderland. You know what's crazy about Willy's Wonderland is that it's not crazy about Willy's Wonderland, but the most popular Movies, Films, and Flicks episode of 2021 is Willy's Wonderland. That's our most popular episode.
I love it. Yes.
It's always weird for me because like last year was The Dead Don't Die was supremely popular. So I like that people do listen to Avengers Endgame, those episodes. I'm not knocking on that, but I've just found it really weird that movies like Never Back Down or The Dead Don't Die or Doctor Sleep or Willy's Wonderland do really well. So that makes me happy that kind of, I wouldn't say, I guess niche films or ones that don't do too well or ones that you wouldn't think do really well on the podcast. So it makes me happy.
Yeah, that's great because it's. I mean, we went on about like The Dead Don't Die, for instance. That like critics didn't really. They were fine with it. Didn't really have that like a lot of love. Like we loved it. So it's great to know that listeners and people are like searching for it and want to know more and listening to the episodes because Willy's Wonderland 2. What a great movie. I know there are like a lot of people that loved it just like we did. But then there was also a lot of cricket about it. I felt like, I don't know.
There's a wavelength to it that you have to sort of get on. Like you just have to roll. Like you can't think about it too much. You just got to be on that wavelength. You got to like Nick Cage. You got to like bathroom fights. Like that's the kind of thing that you just got to roll with, I think. And I mean, and also
absolutely.
too,
it's a funhouse movie. It's a funhouse movie. Sorry, Mark, but it's a funhouse movie. So you just need to be ready for fun. You need to like grab that popcorn, like your homemade popcorn, like rent it on VOD, and just be ready for fun. Because I think that's like kind of the attitude. I mean, I was sitting there literally cheering him on with the alligator scene with the alligator. Oh gosh, I was like, yeah, crush that baby. Oh, it was amazing. No, I love it. This movie also, we'll get to the awards, actually. Yeah. Oh, maybe you should tell listeners what we're doing.
Yeah, so last year we did a horror draft. We drafted our favorite horror films, but I snuck in Wolf of Snow Hollow before you. We were able to talk about the movies we love, but we weren't able to cover a lot of them. And so this year, you and I don't think we went overboard because I think if you have a movie podcast, if you write about movies and you do something with horror, you should watch a lot of them. But I just want everyone to know here that I'm looking at a gigantic Letterboxd list right now. You and I have been text messaging each other all year about horror movies. So we've done our due diligence to make sure that our horror awards and this year-end wrap-up of 2021 horror is quite comprehensive.
Yeah, we've got you covered. We've got you covered.
Yes, exactly. Right. And it's funny. We were talking about this earlier, and we don't have to go into it too much, but it's been a long year, and Shadow in the Cloud feels like, I keep saying this to you, this joke's probably getting old for you, but it does feel like it came out 7,000 years ago. Like A Quiet Place Part 2 feels like it came out at least 3,000 years ago. This has been a long year for us.
I also told you it's pretty cool that Shadow in the Cloud came out literally at the beginning of the year, so it's a great marker to really just feel how long this year has been. Think about when Shadow in the Clouds came out. It feels like there's been a little bit of a black hole thing happening. I don't know. A Quiet Place 2? What? Mark? I completely forgot about that movie.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And one cool thing about Shadow in the Cloud, David Cross of the Award Wieners Movie Review Podcast and Movies, Films, and Flicks. He's a guest. He's been a guest for, I don't know, many, many episodes. But his three favorite movies so he loves the Fear Street trilogy, but he also loves Willy's Wonderland, Shadow in the Cloud, and Malignant. Those are his favorite horror movies. of this year,
Love
and he
it.
watches a lot. And he was on the Willy's Wonderland and Shadow in the Cloud episode. So
Nice.
I'm very happy that he shared those three, because I am all for Chloe Grace Moretz front kicking
Yes.
a gremlin.
I love that girl, that woman.
Front
girl.
kick, yeah.
She went from a girl to a woman. I love her.
It's weird when there's they're child actors, and then you know them as 9-year-olds, and then they're 27. You're like, wait, what's going on?
Right? I did a thing, a big horror thing in October for Halloween, and I was Googling a lot of stuff, and I got to the Amityville Horror, and little baby Chloe, it's so cute. I was like, no, though, what? How? Ryan Reynolds still looks the same. Chloe's like baby girl. I'm like, what? No.
And now she's front kicking gremlins
Now
in their
she-
faces.
Oh, kicking ass in the sky. Gremlins look out. Amazing.
So before we start unleashing our horror awards, which since 2011 at Movies, Films, and Flicks, I've always done random awards. So we're kind of giving out random horror awards to our favorite horror movies this year to make sure we spread the love to everything. But before we do, Zanandi, your top 3 horror films of 2021, what are they?
Oh dear. Okay.
Top 5's easier for me than top 3.
Let's do top 5.
Okay,
Can we do top 5?
sure.
Or
No, please,
are
because
we
top 3,
being
I would have stuttered.
torturous?
Yeah, I would have stuttered for 20 minutes trying to figure out my third favorite. So I'm all about the
Okay,
top 5.
same. Okay, same. Okay, great. Fantastic. So yeah, my top 5 is Willy's Wonderland. Love it. The Night House with Rebecca Hall doing amazing work in The Night House that we'll probably talk about later. Censor. Shout out to Censor. Love it. Werewolves Within, of course. And Titan.
Ooh, all good movies.
Top 5.
Okay, so
Favorite. Will watch pretty much anytime again.
Titan features the
I've
best
watched.
casual massacre or like accidental house massacre of 2021. That is for
Also,
sure.
the best, saddest hug,
Oh my gosh.
which is
oh
during
yeah.
that scene. I feel like Titan has a list of awards, honestly. I mean,
It's
best
what-
use of the Macarena to save a life, best dancing firefighters. I mean, we can really do a list of awards just for that movie, Mark, right?
I love that's Macarena. Then they're staying alive.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law, she was a nurse for, and then a teacher for many years, and she said that when they did CPR, they used to do it to Another One Bites the Dust, and I'm like, that's kind of morbid.
Amazing though.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Another
I do
one.
love it.
Dun,
Brownie points
dun,
for morbidity.
Dun, dun, dun,
Love
dun,
it.
dun, dun.
But it does.
But
Oh,
yeah, I was like, geez Louise. I got my top 5. You want to hear them?
I do.
Well, my number 1?
Your number 1, drum roll. Malignant.
Yes. It's beautiful. It is, James Wan got $40 million and did whatever he wanted. And $40 million in James Wan's hand is probably $100 million for every other director on this planet. This guy
Yeah.
knows how to stretch his money. And I love that. I love the twists and turns. A lot of people were complaining about this movie. Like, there's a scene where Maddie Hansen from Hey, We Summon the Darkness. Yeah, very good movie.
Yeah.
She drives up really close to a cliff. It's like, that's what people are complaining about.
Yeah.
But
I
it's-
love it. I
it's
love
silly,
that.
and,
So funny.
like,
So funny.
oh gosh, and James Wan does not make mistakes. Like, he is a cheeky guy. He gets it. He loves having a good time. And I think everything in this movie was very controlled, but it's just bonkers. I mean, just everything is beautiful about it. And it's so weird. I kind of thought the twist was coming, but I didn't. And just once it happens, you're just going, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And I really like just the entire cast, actually. I thought everyone was like super cool. You had George Young, and then Michelle Brianna White as like Detective Regina Moss, and then
Yeah.
Kiko Shaw. Like, I thought they were awesome, good chase scenes. So Malignant's my number 1. My number 2 is Werewolves Within. Watched it again last night for this episode. Just as good. Beautiful. Number 3 is Because of You, and I'm gonna say Meander, because
Yes.
I haven't watched a film, not even like a horror film, this lean and mean in years. I mean, this one it does not waste any time, and it just
Right? I love
goes.
it.
Features really cool, iconic, not iconic, I guess, but really neat visuals. It's moving. The Gaia Weiss is the star. She's really cool. I just think she's super tough. Like it has enough thrill. And it goes places, and I dig it. Number 4 for me is Willy's Wonderland because of the Ringer T-shirts. Love those. And
Yeah.
number 5 is probably another one because you really recommended it. And I would have watched it, but Lamb. It's
Oh yeah, right.
Lamb.
I like lamb.
Like so I don't think these are like, I'm not saying these are the best made. I'm not saying Willy's Wonderland is the 4th best made horror film of 2021. These top 5 are my favorite. So I'm not
No,
like
yeah, this is not the
yeah.
Oscars. Like this is our favorites, what we enjoyed watching again. Because what I just wanted to say about Malignant also, jumping in here quickly. The first time I watched it, I was kind of like low-key annoyed. Um, it was a bit predictable for me. I did see the twist and stuff. And there were little things that kind of, I think I was kind of like, one, the audacity. But then I watched it again and I got the fun. Like, I got the fun the second time around. So just for anyone that maybe felt the first time like, oh, what is this now? What ridiculousness. Maybe just give it another shot because the fun's there. I think you just need to like sit into it. Does that make sense,
No,
Mark?
absolutely,
Sit
yeah.
into the fun.
Embrace
Is that
it.
how you'd say it? Yeah, just like, because it's a lot of fun. The sound also, he plays so well with the sound. Like, I think visually, we were all captivated by the visuals because there's some gnarly visuals in this one. But the sound, oh, it's hysterical. The sound is hysterical. Like, every time there's a moment and the horror chorus thing, that thing that like, big horror movies, he plays with it, but he does it in like a funny comedic way. It's no. Every time I watch this movie, it gets funnier, more fun, more enjoyable. It's a good one. Just for anyone that might have been like me, because I think actually there's a lot of people that we know that, the movie got criticism.
Yeah.
And I get that. Some of it I didn't agree with, but some I did. Give it another shot. It's really a fun one.
Whenever I brought it up with you, I never heard much from your end. So I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. And so I'm just happy that, you've come around to it. And also too with Lamb, I think Lamb features a couple of visuals. The reason it's in my top
I love
5,
Lamb.
there's a couple of visuals in it that are never going to leave my memory. And there's a couple moments. And also too, I like how the movie, it's not like, Valdemar Johansson directed it, first time director. He's not precious with it. Sometimes I think horror can get very stagey, very written, very, obviously every film is written, but just very, deliberately framed and there's pauses for 7 seconds and just that kind of stuff. This one's not like that. It's not precious. It's beautiful. And, I was in Iceland. I love that place. So the whole movie's like a screensaver that you could just put on and look at beautiful mountains, but
Totally.
I'm not going to.
You can feel the weather.
Yeah.
You can feel the weather.
And it's a successful movie when you can feel that. Like The Thing. Like there's certain movies that you watch and you start getting sweaty. So
exactly.
It has some visuals that will never leave me. So that's cool though, because our top 5s are quite different. So I like that. I guess we have 2 of the 5 same, where it was Within and Willy's, but they're different enough to promote other movies. So I like that.
Perfect.
Well, since you're the guest, do you want to kick us off with the first award?
Okay, yeah. So let's start off with, it is one of my favorite movies. So let's talk about the best use of an award trophy, which goes to censor, of course.
Oh gosh.
Did you, when you watched the movie, Mark, and like she got to the producer, so she goes to this